Zhang Yi had already proved to them through Ye He and the other three that he was not someone to be trifled with. The Celestial team has already failed in its mission to conquer the eclipse. 8 people, including their captain, died. I don't think you are more powerful than them. So now you must face the problems we will encounter with the most serious attitude. Otherwise, you will die. Bailey Changqing nodded. He stood upright in a standard military posture. Yes, Captain. We already have awareness in our hearts. They had this awareness from the first day they joined the investigation team. Moreover, the members of the investigation team are constantly changing, and more than 90% of those eliminated were killed in the mission. Why can the investigation team enjoy high-level resource supply? They all paid for it with their lives. Zhang Yi nodded. It's best to have this kind of awareness, but there is no need to sacrifice in vain. My ability is defensive, and so is my personality. So during battle, I will try my best to keep everyone alive. The time of action is unknown, and the action plan needs to be decided based on the occasion when the lunar eclipse occurs. Vice Captain Bailey is an expert in this regard. Zhang Yi looked at Bailey Changqing. That he was vice captain was undisputed. Whether it's strength or popularity, everyone is convinced. Zhang Yi said to Bailey Changqing, "In the next time, I hope you can strengthen the training of the team members. There can be no slacking off." Bailey Changqing put his hands behind his back and responded loudly, "Yes, Captain." In fact, in the past few months, their team's training has never relaxed. Even if the people at the top look down on their dissatisfied team, they will not give up on themselves, just waiting for this day, the opportunity to go to the battlefield. Zhang Yi walked up to Bailey Changqing and whispered to him, "As for the 3 of us, you have to take some private lessons." Zhang Yi raised his eyebrows at Bailey Changqing. It's a bit strange to say this in public. As a captain, his basic combat literacy is definitely not as good as that of the members of the Black Robe team. Yang Xinxin and Liang Yue also have shortcomings in this regard. Let Bailey Changqing give them special training, which will definitely help them gain something. Bailey Changqing was stunned for a moment, then replied with a smile, "Yes, as you wish." He rubbed his hands. "It's just that you 3 can't train with other team members. There is a big gap in training methods and intensity. Will this affect subsequent battles? If the running in is not good, there will definitely not be such a tacit understanding in subsequent group operations." In this regard, Zhang Yi acted relatively calmly. "This is not a big problem, just help us train well." He also doesn't expect to have the combat qualities of a professional soldier in a short period of time. Just a few things that can be improved. By the way, there is one more thing I need your help with. Zhang Yi whispered something in Bailey Changqing's ear. Bailey Changqing was a little surprised. He took a deep look at Liang Yue and nodded slowly. Then, he said to the others, "You guys go through your daily training first. The captain and I have to leave for some things. Yang Xinxin and Liang Yue, come with us." Wu Di and others didn't know what they were doing, but now Zhang Yi and Bailey Changqing are captains and deputy captains, so they must obey orders. Zhang Yi and the others arrived at the martial arts arena. Zhang Yi looked at Evergreen, smiled, and said, "It's all your hard work today." Bailey Changqing glanced at Liang Yue, smiled, and shrugged. "It doesn't matter, we will all be teammates from now on, and we should always help each other." Zhang Yi nodded. "Then let's experiment." He took Yang Xinxin away from the martial arts arena. The place was quickly sealed off. As the investigation captain, Zhang Yi now has the authority to apply for the opening of the martial arts arena. The martial arts field quickly turned into a huge area with a radius of 5 kilometers. Bailey Changqing and Liang Yue are the protagonists of this martial arts performance. That's right. Zhang Yi wants Liang Yue to have a fight with Bailey Changqing to judge what level her current strength is. Of course, because it is an experiment, Zhang Yi will not let them really face each other in life or death. Even the weapons used were blunt, weapons without sharp edges. Liang Yue held a blunt knife and closed her eyes tightly. When she opened her eyes, An astonishing momentum spread out to the entire field, with her as the center. The weapon used by Bailey Changqing is a long alloy stick, which he sweeps with one hand with equally astonishing momentum. The battle between the two begins. Zhang Yi and Yang Xinxin looked at it very carefully. The following battle is a battle between top-notch enhanced mutants, strengthening type, the most common existence among mutants. After the transformation, Liang Yue and Bailey Changqing are currently the leaders in this field. Watching them fight was as terrifying as watching two monsters from ancient times fight. While Zhang Yi was observing attentively, the information provided by the martial arts field suddenly came from his equipment. Zhang Yi chose to accept it out of curiosity, and a blue screen appeared in front of his eyes, which clearly displayed the data analysis of the two combatants. A look of astonishment flashed in Zhang Yi's eyes. He had been to the martial arts arena once before, but that time, it was as a participant in the war. But he thought that the martial arts arena could analyze the abilities of mutants. In fact, it really kept him guessing. Yang Xinxin also turned her head curiously and looked at the data analysis of Liang Yue and Bailey Changqing. There are portraits of the two people on it, as well as detailed analysis of various abilities. Liang Yue, a person with enhanced abilities, weapon, long knife, speed, A1 strength, A1 skill, S1 superpower, index, 6,800 points, evergreen, a person with enhanced abilities, weapon, long stick speed, A1 strength, A2 skill, A2 superpower index, 7,200 points. The above is the basic data, and there are many complex analytical data that are not enough to list one by one. Zhang. He was also a little surprised. No wonder the district-level units can evaluate the level of strangers. It turns out that they have such detailed data analysis. What is the power index? Zhang Yi asked about the intelligence system of the martial arts field. Soon, the martial arts arena gave Zhang Yi a reply, similar to the combat power index. However, due to the variety of superpowers, in addition to combat-type mutants, there are also auxiliary types, life-type superpowers, and other types of superpowers. Therefore, a comprehensive score is given based on the practicality of the ability. In other words, the ability index is not exactly the same as the combat power index. For example, Zhou Kier. Her ability is healing. Even if her power index reaches 1,000, her combat ability is not as good as that of a mutant with a power index of $1,000. But for mutants who are also fighting types, this ability index is close to combat effectiveness. However, it cannot be completely equated with combat effectiveness, because the restraint relationship between abilities also needs to be considered. Zhang Yi felt a little itchy in his heart, and he couldn't help but ask, "Then what is my superpower index?" The martial arts arena quickly gave Zhang Yi data. 5 at 200. Zhang Yi raised his eyebrows. Is my superpower index so low? But he soon understood. The statistics collected at the martial arts venue were from the previous battle between him and Wu Di. But in fact, he never revealed his true strength in front of Blizzard City. Therefore, this ability index does not have much reference value for him. The two monsters below continued to fight, and the fierce wind of the battle rose into the sky, making bursts of terrifying cries. Out of curiosity, Zhang Yi started chatting with the intelligence system of the martial arts arena. Asked them about the division of power index. The intelligence system also gave Zhang Yi the following reply. Level 1 Alpha, Alpha 19, Level 2 Beta, Beta 1099, Level 3 Gamma, Gamma 100 999, Level 4 Delta, Delta 1000 9999, Level 5 Epsilon, Epsilon 1, Unknown. These are the levels of superpowers currently confirmed to exist by humans, and the classification of superpower indexes. Bailey Changqing and Liang Yue fought for a long time, but there was no difference between them. Although both of them had their hands full and there was no real fight to the death, This result also showed that Liang Yue's potential has been greatly developed. Now, she has the strength of a vice-captain level. The two of them stopped their hands in a very tacit understanding and returned to the stands. Bailey Changqing took the initiative to praise Zhang Yi. "I never expected that there is such a master hiding next to you. Her strength amazes me. If I hadn't been trained by the district, I might not have been her opponent one-on-one in the past." Bailey Changqing's words are not modest. What Liang Yue practices is not martial arts performance, but real killing skills. Anyone who can serve as a bodyguard in that place is a ruthless person. If life and death were to come to an end, he was not sure he could defeat Liang Yue. It just took the advantage of being cultivated by Jiangnan region for a longer period of time. As for Liang Yue, before getting help from Deng family technology, he grew up barbaric most of the time. Zhang. Yi nodded and looked at Liang Yue, the smile in his eyes unstoppable. Bailey Changqing waved at Zhang Yi and asked, "Captain, if there is nothing else, I will go and prepare the things you need for training." Zhang smiled and said, "Okay, thank you for your hard work." Later, after Bailey Changqing left, Zhang Yi asked Liang Yue specifically, "If you fight against him, are you sure you can win?" Because of the judgment given by the intelligence system of the martial arts arena, Liang Yue's ability index is lower than Bailey Changqing. Liang Yue did not answer this question directly. She just glanced at the unedged long training knife in her hand and said lightly, "The knife is not in your hand." In the following time, Zhang Yi formulated a training plan for the Tengu team. The former members of the Black Robe team are training as usual because their daily training volume has not dropped. The key point is that Bailey Changqing, a former Yan Yunwei lieutenant colonel and special forces instructor, will train Zhang Yi, Liang Yue, and Yang Xinxin. What Zhang Yi and the others need to learn is the actual cooperation required on the battlefield, including basic team mode tactics. Professional soldiers are definitely better than laymen like them in this regard. The next day, the three of Yehi who had recovered after treatment found Zhang Yi. They have seen Zhang Yi's strength and are completely convinced. Yehi took the lead, and the three of them bowed 90 degrees to Zhang Yi. "Captain, please forgive us for being rude to you. We hope to join the campaign to encircle and suppress Eclipse Moon and avenge Captain Deng and his teammates from the Celestial Team." Zhang Yi looked at the three people in front of him without saying a word. The three of them bowed at 90 degrees like this for a full 10 minutes. Even well-trained warriors are under heavy psychological pressure. Just when they could no longer hold on, Zhang Yi's cold voice came from their head. "Are you convinced by my punishment? Record a major, demerit, and review it in public." This kind of punishment is a bit severe if it is just for being late once, but the three of them were not stunned. They understood that Zhang Yi was trying to establish his authority with them, but if you want to come back now, you have to look at Zhang Yi's face. He quickly replied, "We are convinced." He quickly took out the confession from his body. It was a very long letter of apology with more than 10 pages, all handwritten. "This is my review." Zhang Yi didn't read his confession. "The members of the Tengu squad are going to risk their lives and fight for the honor of the country. So there is a high probability that you will die. If it is for the sake of victory, I will sacrifice your lives without hesitation. Even so, do you still want to come?" Some things need to be said clearly in advance, so that when the time comes to let them go to die, they will leave a reason for others to talk about. The three people said in unison, "As long as we can destroy the eclipse moon, we are willing to sacrifice our lives." For these warriors who have been on the battlefield for a long time, death is not the most terrifying thing. The most terrifying thing is that there is no chance to wash away the shame on oneself, and one has to live with regret for the rest of his life. The defeat of the Celestial Team turned the number they were once proud of into a big joke. Zhang Yi smiled and said, "Okay, now return to the team and continue training." They all nodded and said, "Yes, Captain."